Once you come into Pinnacle Card, you can start to design pretty much every aspect of the website that you're given. Even if you're using one of the default templates and you don't have a custom build, so to speak, using their card designer. So in this instance, we're using the Modern Vista template, and we want to make some. You can make some pretty radical changes to it to make it look like something completely different. Um, so once you're logged in, we can get rid of this message here. We don't need to see this. Close that. Now what we're going to see is our basically our editor here on the right. We're going to have, or down at the bottom, we're going to have our navigation for the store editor, and you'll notice that when we roll over different divs, they're highlighted. And if you're a developer, you'll understand what I mean by div. If you're not a developer, then just call it your region, so to speak. It's a specific region that you're able to edit using this visual editor. So every little different spot is you're able to right-click on it and edit the visual properties or edit the source code. If you're not a developer, I'd suggest you stay away from the source code. You can click here to edit the visual properties. And what you're looking at here, it'll take some time to get used to and understand what you're looking at. So obviously, this is specifically we're looking at the logo, and we can change the image. So the site logo. This is one way we can do this. I want to come back to this in a second. This is more for developers to look at. So here's the CSS where this is. Not that that's a bunch of crazy code or anything, but here's the images, the site slogan, homepage, the hot deal mark, all this is just the CSS on this stuff. So this is telling you what that is. So if these are the images. So if we come back up into the header, site header container, we can see we can put a background color on it. We can change the position, attach any sort of image that we want in the background. The site header happens to have, this is the container, is different than the header. So again, it's going to take your developer, it may take you a little bit to noodle through this and figure out what's what. But it's a really nice interface once you wrap your head around it to be able to go, okay, here's my site header, here's where my images go. It's obviously a background image that's being underlaid underneath the logo on the left here. So once you've got that, let's go take a look at the site images. Down here at the bottom, there's a couple of different areas. You can click on images, and then on the left here, on the far left, edit site images. This is going to give you the ability to edit a bunch of the top level stuff that you see on that home page. So we can edit the logo, we can edit that home page image that came by default inside our template. You can see that we have unpublished the right hand column in the background here. So we have no right column. If this is an original template, if we go look at it, it's got an image here in the middle, then it's got another right column. We've chosen to unpublish that right-hand column so we can put more product, and it's a little bit cleaner layout for our users. But you can obviously do whatever you want. So in order to change this image, we obviously had to increase the size of it. So we had to measure out the width of the, how wide is this image here? It's like about 750. So when you go to edit site images, this is where you can change a lot of the images throughout your entire site. Swap your logo. Change your site slogan. This is text that will appear around the logo. The homepage image, a hot deal, you can change that. So you can kind of noodle through this and see. You can change a lot of these images really quickly. So if you have, like for instance, the global no image mark, if you don't have an image for a product, you can upload a filler image, so to speak, for that product. We choose, because this product has some global similarities between every product, we can use one product image for every product listing, basically. So that's convenient for us, but you may or may not be able to do that. And then you just noodle through this and you can see the stuff that you can edit in bulk site-wide, and then hit save and save your changes. And it's going to give you an option to, that one will just save it site-wide. So that's how to change some of the basics on this home page, to change the home page image, change the logo. You can right-click up here in this editor. You can't WYSIWYG edit. This is all the Smarty template code. You probably don't want to screw around with that unless you're a developer. Even if you are a developer and you goof that up, you make sure obviously that you make a backup of this code before you go tinker with it. If you're just an average user, you probably want to hit right and hit edit visual properties. And this is going to allow you to tinker with some of the CSS, but this is basically a user interface to the CSS files in a nutshell. So you're going to want to be careful what you do in here, and remember the original settings so you can go set them back in case you make a mistake.